Hello. Welcome to a video where I want to show you how to deploy your dashboard on Google Cloud. So first, I would like to say that there are multiple ways to deploy your dashboard. There are at least three to or four alternatives using Google Cloud. This one, it's maybe the fastest and the less complex alternative. So we're going to use Cloud Run for that, Google Cloud Run. That means that this is like a serverless alternative. So you just need to care about your code and pretty much Cloud Run will handle the rest. Okay, so the first thing that you need to do, of course, is you require your dashboard, the a Python file with the code that creates your dashboard. So here I have a small dashboard with four charts. I have the data. So same thing that we have done in class before. Now we need to create a requirements.txt, which is similar. If you remember when we were using a Streamlit Cloud, there is always a requirements.txt. So maybe the only new thing here is you need to create a Docker file. So to create a Docker file is just new file, create that file without extension. It doesn't have extension. Now, let me say that I'm using VS Code. I highly encourage you to use VS Code if you are not using a different IDE. I don't want you to keep using a Collab, like for the rest of the course, especially because I prefer that you try to work more locally. Collab is perfect, like especially when you're learning, at the beginning. But now, and even for other courses, it's better to have a you can use either VS Code or similar anti-gravity. I don't know, whatever you prefer is fine. I also highly encourage you to add a GitHub Copilot. So you have some LLMs, that you can use for your coding, and you can activate, the agent mode. So as a student, it's simple. You can get the pro version, and they will ask you for proof of, of enrollment, maybe with the ID, with the university ID. That will be enough. You take a picture. They take a couple of days, and after that, you are given like 300 requests per month. And you can use like the latest LLMs on the market. So, for example, I'm using here Cloud Opus 4.6, or you can use ChatGPT 5.3 Codex if that's what you prefer. All right. So, in the Docker file, this structure, you can repeat it. So, you can update even if you want the Python version 3.11. It doesn't matter. It's a basic app here that we're creating. This is standard requirements. Maybe just be careful. Here I'm using the app.py because that's the name of my file. If you change it, to make sure that you change it here, you can keep the same, the rest of this structure the same. You will be given, you will find these instructions here. So yeah, this is the same code. This is how you create the Docker file. Just copy and paste again, just be careful with the name of your app. So to get a Docker file, there is nothing special. I just like add file, and again the Docker file without extension. Okay, so once you're ready with the 3-4 file that you require the code for the dashboard, the requirements, the data, right? And of course the container. You don't need Docker to refer, because Google Cloud will handle that part. Okay, so what's next? Then the next step, of course, you need to create a Google account, a Google Cloud account. So you will be asked, like they will give you like 300 credits, initially $300 credit, and you will be given 90 days. This is like the trial, right? The free version. Okay, so once you have signed up, then you need to create a new project. So here I'm clicking. So I'm gonna add a new project. I'm just gonna call it dashboard test. Dashboard test. Create it. I'm gonna switch to it's creating. So once it's done, I'm gonna select the project. So you have to see here the name of the project. So it is dashboard test. That's it. Now the first step, so you have created a new project. Then you need G Cloud CLI. This is the command line interface. So yeah, depending of if you are on Windows, Mac, you will given the instructions here. So for example, for Windows, you can just copy this in your terminal or PowerShell, like this. You just copy and paste, and it will install. When you copy and paste here, and it will install gcloud on your machine. Okay, in my case, I already did this. So now let's complete the whole thing. So you have two options. I can keep going here, like using the terminal here on VS Code. I can do that if you want, or assuming that you don't have a VS Code, I'm going to the folder where I have, the files that will create the dashboard. So these are the same files. So just with right click, I'm going to launch my terminal here. This one. So I will show you will get errors. That's normal. So I'm gonna initialize gcloud. So gcloud init is gonna initialize, like the if this is the first time you need to log in, like you need to pick the project that you want. So I'm gonna say here, I'm gonna reinitialize this configuration with new settings. So I will see the same option that you will see most likely. So in my case, I'm already, like logged in, but in your case, you will require, it will open, like the browser, and you will need to input your credentials. Okay, so which account? This is that will be your option number 3, sign in with a new Google account if you haven't. In my case, I already did that, so I'm gonna just say number 2. Okay, then it's asking me which project I want to know like to work. So I'm gonna work in dashboard test. Remember the one that I just created, so it's number 1, but I have more projects here. Okay, so now I'm in right inside the project, pretty much. And I already have my files. So if I try to run, like to deploy it right away, we get an error. Let me show it to you real quick. The error that you get, this one. If I try to deploy it, it's just gcloud run deploy my streaming dashboard, right from source. Since the project is new, okay, it's asking me like we need these APIs to install them. So let's enable them. So we say yes. So once they're enabled, it will try to deploy the dashboard. Let's continue. Keep going. But we will get an error. When it's building, we get an error because so far I haven't defined some roles for my user in this project. But I want to show you. I want to show you how to fix it. So this is the error that we're getting. It's permission denied because we haven't authorized. We need to change the IAM permissions. This is for identity. It's just to define the roles, like who is allowed, to write, to change this project. So you need, I'm copying this because you will need the project ID and there's a project number. And it's in this error, in the whole error that we're getting here, that information is contained. Here you have. Okay. So if you want, you can use an LLM, that's up to you. Or even in the instructions here, I'm telling you how to fix that. So you need to just change your project ID, your project number, right? And then authorize builder and viewer. That's one option. Or again, if you're using an LLM here, I'm using just a cloud just to make it a little bit more realistic. So I just provide the error, and it understands, like what I need. Because yeah, I'm having the same issue for. So I'm gonna update first the policy binding for Builder. So let's do that. Be careful because sometimes the LLMs they don't know like if you're using Windows, Mac, so sometimes they use different symbols, especially with the backslash or slash. There are some differences. So just be careful with that because you will get an error, right? So I did the first one, now the second one. So I'm authorizing my user to be able to access, modify the project. Viewer. Okay, so once we're done, we can now again try to deploy the gcloud run deploy my Streamlit dashboard. There you go. It will take 2-3 minutes or more. Maybe I will stop the video before that, but at least I want to show you like once the building it's complete. Because remember when I was trying to build last time, we got an error, like right away. We got an error because yeah, like a permission denied, or we were in the even before building here, uploading sources. But now, as you can see, it's working, it's building the container. The uploading sources is fine, right? So it's gonna keep going. It's gonna keep going for maybe 2-3 minutes, and once it is done, it will give you the link, right, where you can open your dashboard. So that's it's done. Like it's complete. Now, if you want to get more details, please note that here you can go to this website. You can go to this link here. You just copy and paste it very quick. So you can see a lot, like what's happening. If you want to see it, you see here. Or I know that I need to change the, let me see. I need the different, let me see this one if it works. Or it has this one, right? Okay, so it shows the logs, right, of what's happening. So maybe you can catch an error if something's happening. You see it's working here, right? Still building. So you can control the whole thing. So you see the steps are not, like difficult. Maybe just the first time, while you set the roles, you create a project and all this stuff. If you're not familiar with working with the terminal, maybe at the beginning it can be intimidating, but it's not a big deal to refer. And again, using Gemini especially or any other LLM that you prefer, I'm sure that you will figure it out. Like in 10 minutes, you should be able to deploy it once you have finished your dashboard. Okay. So the result, let me see if I have it open here. The previous one. No, I closed them. But again, at the end, you will get a link to open the dashboard, and it will work. And it will work. It's still working again. It takes like 3-5 minutes, so it's normal. This delay is not automatically, because it's going faster now. It built the container. It's creating revision, so it's gonna finish soon at this point. So I think I'm gonna wait maybe a little bit more, a minute, to see if you can see the final result. Now, a key consideration is like, and I had encouraged you guys to make sure that it works. I mean, run it locally before you deploy it. So test it. That's my advice. Again, use actively use VS Code and the links here to this is my local version. It's in local host. So I'm sure it's working, right? Because I tested it before. And once I'm sure that it works, that's when I deploy it, right? Just because it's easier, of course, to debug the whole thing, the code locally than once it's on Google Cloud. So let me see how the process is going. So it says okay, 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 and now here we can get the link, right? Oh no, this is the logs. I'm sorry. Here, when it's done, then we get the link finally. This one. Copy, and let's see. So the one that I'm showing, this one is it. Oh, this was a test that I had before. I was testing it for the video. This is the new one, right? In the new project that we just created. And it works. So you can see it works, right? So, and it's different from the local one that I was testing for this local host, right? But the other one, this one, it has a link, of course, that you can use. Okay, so that's everything for now. So I hope everything's clear. Just let me know if you have any question. Good luck with your project.